Okay, everybody. Yep. Here it is, the second installment of PokedexT. We're doing Charmander's family today. We're doing Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard, the fire Pokemon. Once it evolves into Charizard, it becomes a fire/flying type Pokemon. It is a Generation 1 Fire-type starter, of course, that's attainable in Professor Oak's lab, available in the games Red, Blue, Yellow, and in the Generation 3 games Fire Red and Leaf Green. Its ability is Blaze, which increases its Fire-type attacks 50% once it has less than 1/4 of its health. And its signature move is Blast Burn. Um, let's get down to it. Last update I said that Venusaur had really good specials, but when I looked at that, I also looked at Charmander's. Charizard's is really good. In fact, Charizard has a better special attack. However, yeah, he doesn't have a better special defense than Venusaur, which is why I said Venusaur was better special-wise, because he measures out more special-wise. And plus the fact that Charizard has slightly better physical attack than Venusaur. I think they both pretty much even up in physical attack. But Charizard is slightly better in special attack by about 9 points. He is better than every last Pokemon in speed, however. As all the starters, Charizard is the fastest. And, I have to say Charizard's probably one of the better of the picks by most trainers ratio-wise. I've seen Charizard a lot more online than I've seen Blastoise and Venusaur. Um, Charizard is more stat-wise. Charizard is the better, and I know that Charizard isn't a Pseudo, but dang it, he might as well be. Charizard's used in a lot of teams. His attacks are very powerful. He's a very durable Pokemon due to the fact that he's fire and flying. The only two other Pokemon I have these types are legendaries, being of Moltres and Ho-Oh. As of now, we don't know what Black and White holds for us, but yeah, Charizard is a very all-around Pokemon. Not only being a fire/flying type, but also being known to use certain rock, ground, steel, dragon, and other variations of attacks. Um, as far as battling with Charizard, I had Charizard on my Leaf Green team. Yeah, I know, oddly enough. Charizard was on my Leaf Green team. I say recommended moves would be Steel Wing, Dragon Breath, Heat Wave, and Blast Burn. I say these because one, Heat Wave is a move that can damage not only one Pokemon, but it can also damage two if you're in a double battle. Heat Wave is a lot like Flamethrower, only I believe it has a little bit of a better burn rate than Flamethrower does. I have to do the comparisons, but I'm pretty sure, yes, I'm almost positive that the Heat Wave has a better burn ratio. Also, Heat Wave has, the downside is that Heat Wave has less PP than Flamethrower. I said PP. Anywho, then there's Steel Wing. Steel Wing is mostly because Charizard has a quad weakness to rock type Pokemon due to the fact of it being fire and it being a flying type. So it has a quadruple weakness to rock type Pokemon. Also, I would teach a Dragon Breath just because of the fact that it can learn a dragon type move and its special attack is really high. This means that it also has really good speed too. So when you're fighting Pseudos like Salamence and Dragonite and Garchomp, it's nice to have a little edge on them by learning a good dragon type attack. Then finally its signature move, Blast Burn, doing an intense amount of damage. Plus getting the same type attack bonus due that it's a fire type Pokemon. Blast Burn doing an amazingly high amount of power. There's only one downside, that it has to recharge after doing that. If you don't want Charizard to face that kind of downside, then I would go to a weaker point and just teach Charizard Fire Blast. You can also teach a Flare Blitz too, which is a physical attack, but I'm almost guaranteeing that it won't do as much unless you EV train it in physical attack. Also, for those of you who want to get Charizard the same type attack bonus and flying type moves so it can have an advantage on other Pokemon, I recommend teaching Charizard either the move Aerial Ace or Fly in its case, and I'm almost certain that Charizard can learn Sky Attack. More than likely not, so I would just go ahead and teach Charizard Aerial Ace or Fly. Those are the best two options in its case. Then there's, let's see, the thing about Charmander and Charmeleon. As I said with Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, you can keep Charmander and Charmeleon at their base forms for a while in order to evolve them into Charizard. However, if you keep them then in their base forms and then level them up, they can learn their attacks much quicker. I actually also believe that in Generation 3, they got rid of some of the downsides that Charmander carried in its family for a long time. That being the fact that if you choose Bulbasaur and or Squirtle as your starter, then you would have a much easier time on your journey as far as this beginning, because you would be able to fight the gym leader Brock, who uses rock types, and then later on have to fight Misty. So, the downside was that Charmander couldn't really handle Brock because both of his Pokemon were rock type Pokemon, which means that the only few attacks that Charmander had could do little to no damage against Onix or Geodude. But in Generation 3 of Fire Red and Leaf Green, they corrected this mistake by giving the Charmander a really powerful move during the course of the beginning, giving Charmander Metal Claw, and giving him Metal Claw. Therefore, he has a much easier chance of going through. They gave Charmander Metal Claw earlier specifically so that he could beat Brock's Pokemon and have a much easier time in the first gym, much like Squirtle and Bulbasaur have. It seems sort of random to me, but it makes sense why they would give him such an obvious move. And also, if you have Charmander as your starter, then fighting through bug type trainers would be a breeze. Yeah, it would simply be easy because you can just sweep straight through them with Ember. All in all, yeah,